Israel, a booming, high-tech economy, GDP per capita higher than Germany, a startup nation, a global center of tech innovation. But what lies beneath? A closer look reveals a dark side to Israel's economic miracle, an economy that is leaving many behind with high levels of poverty and inequality. The country faces more dire challenges. So, in this video, we will explore the dark side of Israel's economic miracle. We will uncover the hidden costs of Israel's success and what the future holds for the Israeli economy. But before we start, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and ringing the bell to stay in the loop. Today, Israel ranks 13th in the world for how much money each person makes on average, has more new businesses for every person than anyone else, and has a reputation as a strong economic performer that many other countries want to be like. But even though these achievements are really good, the story of Israel's economy is a bit more complicated, and when you look closely, it doesn't look as nice. There's a fascinating contradiction in Israel's economy, because even though the country has many well-educated and hard-working people who make lots of successful, high-tech companies, this doesn't necessarily mean that the nation as a whole benefits a lot. Strangely enough, in some ways, Israel is actually not as advanced as some of the countries that admire it. To see what we mean, let's take a look. Israel is ranked 13th in the world when it comes to how much money each person makes. But if we consider how far that money can go in terms of buying things, Israel is only in 30th place, which is not as impressive. The main reason for this is that Israel is the most expensive country in the world to live in, and the city of Tel Aviv, where most tech companies are located, is the world's most expensive city. So, even though Israel has a reasonable GDP per person, when it comes to what you can actually afford with your income, it's not very good. It's not just that it's costly though. Despite having a highly educated and hard-working population and the world's biggest tech sector, wages in Israel are quite low. The average salary in Israel is similar to what you find in European countries like Italy or Spain, which are known for having lower productivity and outdated economies. Given that Israelis work really hard and their economy is focused on technology, they should be earning more, but they do not. But why is this the case? Well, this is where the story of Israel's economic success starts to show some cracks. The thing is, even though Israel is famous for being the startup nation, this actually only applies to a very small part of the country. While the tech sector is a significant part of the economy, contributing to nearly 20% of its GDP, it only accounts for about 8% of the total jobs available. While those in the 8% typically receive decent pay, the remaining 92% of jobs often come with lower wages and require fewer qualifications. Currently, the average salary in the tech industry is nearly 3 times higher than in other sectors, and this gap keeps getting wider. While this situation is favorable for the 10% of highly skilled tech workers, it means that 90% of the population isn't really benefiting from the tech boom in any way. Most people earn less than the average income in Western Europe and significantly less than the average in the United States. However, they still have to cope with the high cost of living in the world's most expensive country. As a result, it's not surprising that Israel has one of the highest levels of inequality in the world. There's another problem with having one sector so much more successful than all the other parts of the economy. If that one sector faces problems or disappears, the entire country is in big trouble, like a plane flying with only one working engine. Ultimately, this might be happening already, as Israel is currently dealing with significant challenges that could seriously harm its tech sector and potentially bring down the entire Israeli success story, impacting the entire economy. The primary concern for the future of Israel's remarkable story is the profound division within the country, to such an extent that 60% of its citizens are anxious about the potential for a civil conflict. Over the past 9 months, Israel has faced an unparalleled domestic political crisis, unlike any it has encountered before. This crisis revolves around the proposed judicial reforms put forth by the current government, which, according to the opposition, could pose a threat to Israeli democracy. However, beneath the surface, there exists an even deeper struggle concerning the vision for Israel's future. It's a struggle that questions whether Israel should evolve into a modern, secular and liberal democracy, or remain a highly nationalistic and religiously conservative state. This intense divide not only threatens political stability, but also hampers the country's ability to address pressing economic and social challenges. Finding common ground and fostering unity among such disparate views is essential for Israel to sustain its economic success and ensure the well-being of its diverse population. Failure to do so may jeopardize the very foundation of Israel's economic miracle and place its entire economy at risk. While this division has long existed, it is increasingly fracturing Israeli society, with tangible economic repercussions emerging. What exacerbates the situation is that those who oppose the current government and its policies are often the very individuals who play a pivotal role in driving the country's economy. Engineers, scientists, startup founders and IT professionals who are vital to the nation's economic engine are deeply concerned about the uncertain future of Israel. Investors too are apprehensive about the prevailing political instability. A survey conducted in July 2023 revealed that a staggering 70% of Israel's startups have initiated plans to relocate beyond the country's borders. Concurrently, venture capital investments within Israel have plummeted by a stark 67% since the onset of this political crisis. If this worrying trend persists, the once vibrant startup ecosystem may face insurmountable challenges in its journey to recover and thrive. But even if the current crisis eventually subsides, the long-term prospects for Israel appear less than promising, as the crisis brings to light another significant issue that is poised to become even more apparent in the future: a demographic challenge. This challenge revolves around a segment of Israeli society that stands in stark contrast to the startup nation image: the Orthodox Jewish community known as the Haredim. These individuals enjoy certain privileges from the government, such as exemptions from military service. Remarkably, only half of all ultra-Orthodox men participate in the workforce, while the remainder rely on government stipends for support. Additionally, their children typically receive religious education with limited exposure to mainstream subjects like mathematics or science. Presently, the Haredim constitute 13% of the population, but they are rapidly expanding due to early marriages and larger families compared to the national average. Projections indicate that by 2050 they may account for a quarter of the entire population. Irrespective of personal beliefs or religious affiliations, this demographic shift could have adverse implications for the economy. Israel, where a substantial portion of the population does not serve in the military, remains largely disconnected from the labour market and lacks a secular education, faces mounting challenges in preserving its current identity. The increasing number of ultra-Orthodox Jews is poised to exacerbate existing divisions and intensify the ongoing struggle over the nation's character. While Israel has a track record of overcoming formidable challenges, addressing this one is likely to prove exceptionally complex. Balancing the diverse needs and aspirations of its population while maintaining economic vitality and social cohesion will require thoughtful planning and innovative solutions. So, navigating the future with these demographic shifts will indeed be a formidable task. That's it for today. And now we invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Do subscribe to the channel if you like our content. We will catch you in the next one. Bye.